All right. What is it, dude? All right. Dang, dude. Man, I look like a freaking comb my hair with a damn shovel. All right. I have on pants with and I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I have on pants with sandals. Pants with sandals, and every time I do that, I feel my feet feel like they're just up to no good, you know? My feet feel like my legs feel like they're being normal, and my feet feel like they're being naughty. Just because I guess like the cold air kind of hits them, and and they're just so damn exposed. If you're wearing damn, you got your damn toes out there, your little dangle pieces out there at the end of your feet. Because your toes are just like, almost like 10 small, like little Floridas just hanging off your body. But yeah, when I have pants on and sandals, I feel, oh, and then a dog comes up and licks your toes. Oh. I mean, let's be honest, bruh. That's the dark arts right there. Yeah, man. That's that intro hitter right there. That's Siny. That's Siny. That's Tiny Sandhu. Putting that sound paste on your damn hearing, on your hearing brushes. And if you guys don't know who Tiny is, Tiny's he's that rare earth element. Tiny Sandhu is a man. When this pod, when we first started doing this, he would send us sounds. And he records deep in the earth. We don't know where he's from. I mean, if you quit combing your hair with a shovel and use the shovel naturally in its natural locale into the earth, I bet somewhere down there you'd find a damn treasure box and you'd open it up. And inside of there would be Tiny Sandhu, a small man. We don't know how nobody's seen him. And he'd be playing a little bitty guitar, But that's him. He hit me through email years ago. And every couple months he'll send in something. And this message came from him, and this is all truthful, and this is all honest. He said, "Hey, man, I've been living a different life in a different dimension for a while. But fuck that, man. I'm back. And coming through with that interplanetary hitter. A cover of Sweet Child of Mine." And that's it, Tiny Sandhu, and that could be Middle Eastern. I'm not sure what he is. But we're gracious for that hitter. And we're hoping to have a new website up here in the next 2 weeks. And then people can submit their sounds, music, melodies, and this and that to be a part of the experience. And that'll be that. What's going on? Not much, man. What did I do this weekend, really? I got my nieces and nephews are coming out here in 2 weeks to go to Disney. See the mouse, you know it. And I remember when I was real young, they had a man next door, kind of an older guy. And I don't want to say a pervert, but he always said his zipper on his pants didn't work well. So, you can you could get a dang, You could get a stencil and some markers and draw your own conclusion on that. But this man, he would always say, come see the mouse, you know. Y'all want to go to Disney World, come see the mouse. And you get by him and he had a little mouse in his hand. A little bitty mouse, you know. Reminds me of that circus mouse on Green Mile. Remember that movie? Remember that movie that killed the big black guy, that killed Michael Clark Duncan? And they got the man on there with the circus mouse, that little white kind of shifty guy. Look like his eyes are playing like in a little bit of a look like his eyes are always kind of shooting at each other a little bit. He got that little circus mouse, you know. He goes, oh, it's going to be a little bitty circus mouse. Remember that? But I could see myself, I don't know if I could train animals. I could. You know, I don't want to doubt myself. That's one thing recently I've been tired of, just doubting myself. You know, I want to just start to just believe that I could do what I want to do. Or I could do anything. I could train animals. I could be a high diver. You know, I could hold my breath for a long time. You know, just different. It could be anything, man. It could be really anything. And I guess I want to start believing in myself more. What else was I thinking about? Oh, I went to look at a car, you know, and I'm looking at a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I always wanted to have one, and so I'm thinking about treating myself and getting something like that. You know, just that hitter, you out there, and you got that vehicle and you're cruising. I love that. Dude, remember when you were young, bruh, and you left the house for the first time in your car? I remember looking back at my folks and being like, man, I can't believe they fucking let me go. They know surefire I'm about to go get me a little bit of junts, you know? And it was, I don't even know what holiday it was, Thanksgiving. Dude, I'll get a couple damn turkey junts and just huff them things and just get my lungs all freaking, you know, cornucopia cooked out, bro. I was just, literally, I drove 200 feet to my neighbor's, bro, and drove there and got some weed. And I remember my mom could even see me from where I drove down. It wasn't, I lied to her. I said, I'm going to get something. You know, I'm going to the market, or I'm going to get some gas. And she said, you have a full tank. And I said, well, I'm going to top it off. Because it was my first time, that first experience out there. But I remember that. And I drove just about 200 feet into my neighbor's driveway and bought weed right there in front of my mom. My mom said, damn, you're an idiot. And she was right. She was right about that one, that time. Now I have evolved since then, but she was right about that. But remember how shitty everybody's car was when you were a kid? Unless you were rich, then you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But remember how shitty, bro? I remember one dude, they had this guy in our town, this guy, Big Samuel. And he had a van and it wouldn't shut off. So that bitch, you had to constantly be putting gas in it. It wouldn't shut off, dude. There was no like on off. It was either when the gas was in, it would start up, and when it was out of gas, it would stop. There was no, I think somebody either stole the ignition or something happened. Sorry, I had me a little sip of that coffee. Dude, coffee, let's be honest, that's like damn cocaine for your lungs, bro. Right when you bring that cup to your mouth, it's like your lungs just pulled over under, you know, off the interstate and bought a Swift, you know, bought a couple, just a wet brown gram of joy. What's going on, dude? I have this crazy kind of thing that's been kind of milling around in the background that I want to share with you, but I don't want to like jinx myself. Do you ever get like that? Like you want to share like some news or something, but you don't want to like jinx your own life. I get like that sometimes. I was at the Comedy Store this weekend. Everybody was in Montreal for the comedy festival. And I was just by myself and man, I get this thing at night where like I get, everything was good, and then the next thing you know, I downloaded Snapchat, and Snapchat should be shut down. I mean, anything can get through Snap. It's like our borders, basically. It's like, whatever. They got a meal. They got, Snapchat is it's just so dangerous. I know I've talked about it before, but I didn't really realize this. I get this thing at night when I'm by myself, and it just like, I get like restless. Like I don't know. I just get restless. I want to do something. But I don't even know what I want to do sometimes. I just don't know what I want to do. But it's like I want to like growl at something, or I want to just nibble on something, a titty or something. I don't know what it is. Something. I just want to do something. I have this thing at night. I get restless. And maybe it's just, it could be like a sign of the times. Like, because we're going from such an era of just human to electronics. You got to think about that. I mean, 30 years ago, the only volts going through your body was a heartbeat. That was it. If you wanted to check me for some type of rhythm or a voltage or something, heartbeat. That was that systole and diastole, bro. And those were also a couple of kind of redneck brothers in my town. Twins, systole and diastole. Harper was the last name. But that's also, that's part of your aortas. Because your heart just is like your heart's like a shoebox, but the shoes are all blood. And anyway, but if you check somebody's body, that was it. The main frequency rolling through them was that heartbeat, that that Or if they went for a jog, then it would be that Or if they was doing a little bit of coke, it would be like Or if they had just bought a shark, it would be like So, but that was it. That was your only vibe, was that your only vibration inside of you, that that nature's drum, the heart. And then now you got all of there's electric waves going everywhere. I just wonder if sometimes if my angst is a side effect of just all the electricity and stuff that's in the air, all the vibes that are out, that are just cruising. I mean, dude, there's an email. If you send an email, where do you think it goes, bro? Through the ground, dude? No. Through the air. That's a damn word bird, bro. That thing is. So if you're chilling, and next thing you know, you feel something, I wouldn't be surprised one day they crack a guy open on a deathbed and he got a bunch of damn Best Buy emails clogged up in his body or something, or some, who knows is what I'm trying to, I guess, say about it. So that's been that, I guess. But I guess at night sometimes I get kind of, I don't know, there's this thing inside of me and it just wants to act out. It's almost like it feels like a little gopher that won't brush his teeth or something. He's just hiding like in the base of my neck and in the back of my wiener. And he wants to just be out there. And he wants to be naughty, man. That's how I feel sometimes. I wish I could explain it to you better, but that happens to me at night. A lot of time by myself, I get that naughty gopher just milling, that thing is just fucking loitering around in the back of my nuts, in my nut sock, it. And in France, they say nut sock, and that's nut sack. But it's kind of beautiful, isn't it? What else? But yeah, dude, fucking Big Samuel had that van, and that bitch wouldn't shut off. So you had to keep it rolling. You had to just go get more gas. You would siphon gas. I don't know if you ever siphon gas or ever, given a blowjob to a mechanic. But you get that hard hit, and then the gas is coming up fast. You got to get away from the hose. And if you don't get away from the hose real quick, then you can't, then that gas will get you. You get bit by that gas, it'll jump out of the hose and bite you in the face. And you can't have a cigarette for about a month after that because you'll cook yourself out. Oh, man. What else happened? Oh, I went to a church this weekend. I actually went to a church service. It was real cool in downtown in Los Angeles. I hadn't been to something like this. It was like a big event. And it was, and I'm not, sending any, the thing that I love about an environment, or that I loved about this environment, was just seeing people, all types of people, just being fearless, kind of fearless to like believe in something other than themselves, And I don't even know if it was denominational. I don't even know if it had a denominational. It was called VOUS conference, and it was downtown in Los Angeles, and it just was, because sometimes when I think about, like religion and stuff, and I think about faith, and I used to not believe in anything. When I was young, I didn't believe in anything. I only believed in myself, really. And as I get older, I want there, and I don't even know if it's as I get older, as I get more willing, I want there to be something else. I want there to be. You ever go to Walmart and you think it's just going to go on forever? Remember that? You go to Walmart and first you up front, they got the candy and they got a couple pound cakes or something that, they didn't make quite a pound. They're like 3/4 pounds instead of defective. They got those defective areas up front. 40 cents for a pound cake, and you got that bad bitch, You pick a couple up of them sweet, sugary freaking breads, it. And then you go and they got children's clothing, and then they got, stuffed dinosaurs and board games, and then they got lotion. And then the food starts up, and they got damn watermelons, and they got the what are the things, you sit down in them, and you're not sure of yourself, and you can almost get trapped, kind of, but you're in Hawaii or something. Not mannequins, hammocks. So you have these, you keep cruising. Then they got TV dinners. Then they got, liquor. They got vodka and gin and everything. Then they got 700, different types of orange juice. And you think Walmart's never going to end, man. You just keep going and going. You're running through that thing, and they got milk, and then they got live animals, and they got guns. Then they got Genesis, then they got Exodus, and then they got, next thing you know, you're in Terminator 3. Like, there's just so many different sections of Walmart. But then you get to the back of it, you get to the wall. It's like, oh man, it ends, There's some toilets back there, and there's like a thing there's like literally like 600 signs that tell employees to wash their hands, which is bizarre. I think, like, gee, like, what kind of problems are we having, if people aren't washing their hands that much? Especially if they're handling everything from board games to bison jerky to adult suppositories. And what was I talking about? Oh, this was it. And I think that's what I think about life. I don't want there to be, or not life, existence. I don't want there to be nothing else. I just don't want there to be. I think it'd be real scary to let go of like the life of the existence that we know. But, I think that, that God is like an origami. He does origami. And we're the paper, and he'll just fold us and put us out into something. And, here you got folded up into a human. And then next time he'll make you damn a little raccoon out there or something. And you're in France or you're in Japan. Maybe he'll make you, he'll fold you up, and you were just like a pack of starbursts or something out there. Anything. You could be a fireball. Maybe you work for a dragon. You're a fireball. But it's like I want to be folded up into something else when this is done. And it was just interesting. It was great to see people just together, all different types of people, man. I mean, they had this one little guy, this little, he was like kind of like Asian and Mexican, this little kind of Vietnam, this Viet Mexican, this little Viet Mexican. This dude was, he had these pistolas. He had his hands like pistolas. And he was just kind of almost twerking, this little guy. And he might have had a back problem. And if you have a back problem, then everything you do is kind of twerking a little bit. And you know that. And anyway, but I was watching him just sing these songs, and they had everybody just fired up. And dude, I got so much joy out of just watching somebody else have fun. So it was a neat experience. It was just a neat experience to see people not being afraid to admit that they want to believe in something other than themselves. Because that's where I have a tough time with a lot of things in my life. I'm finding recently, I just want to do things myself. I want to believe in things myself. It's hard to let go. It's hard to just really let go. But man, when people do it, and it looked fun, man. It looked joyous to see people just really just surfing on that beautiful vibe. Just being free, man. People seem free. But yeah, if you get to imagine when you get to the back of the Walmart, when you hit the wall, it all kind of just by the yogurts, bruh. They'll have about 40 yards of yogurt off of there, in like a big kind of, milk kennel. And they got peach yogurt and the damn, they got so many types of yogurt, man. When are we shutting this shit down? Dude, we need to build a wall around some of these cows' udders. Because the types, they got, every type of yogurt's coming in, man. You got lime. Dude, the other day I saw lime yogurts, bro. Dude, you can't have lime and dairy? What? What kind of cow is it? It's like the Steve-O of cows. You can't have that. Lime and dairy, they're arch rivals. And they have that. The other day, they had a Spanish yogurt. What the fuck is that, dude? That's just yogurt. So it just seemed like there's a lot going on out there when you get to the back of the Walmart. But when you hit that wall, I remember as a kid, I thought it went on forever. I thought I'd be able to keep just running past the frozen foods, past the big, huge thing of the beach balls, maybe get to England. Who knows? Next thing you know, I'm underwater. Next thing you know, I'm dating Ariel. Next thing you know, I got 101 Dalmatians, and Cruella's fucking dead, bro. And I'm living life, letting them puppies run over my body. Just letting them pups just paw print all over daddy's fucking naked back. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. You know what I do know, actually? I don't want there to be nothing. And I don't think there is. I think life is too much of an experience for there not to be more, man. More will be revealed. That's what I want. And I believe that you get what you believe, what you want. I believe you get that. If you want to be a salamander when you die, next thing you know, you're going to be swimming for a long time. People don't think about that. Some people are like, oh, I want to be a fish when I die. Well, dude, I swam for 9 minutes, dude, at my cousin's birthday party. Almost drowned. Imagine swimming fucking 24 hours a day. And fish can't even sleep, really. A fish, because if you can only sleep on the banks, They can only sleep on the bank. And if they jump on the bank, they can only sleep for 5 or 6 seconds or 8 seconds before they get real nervous because it's air. And then you fucking swimming again. Whew. That looks hectic. What else? I had some sushi this weekend. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten involved with this it's really the dark arts. What they're doing to these fish, man, the Japanese, man. It's, basically, it's really, sushi's pretty much about the freshest Chinese food you've ever had. So, I'd rather pay them, I love Chinese food, Dude, you give me an orange chicken, a little bit of cinnamon on that. You give me that that Sergeant Pepper chicken or whatever it is. A little bit of orange chicken. Throw a little bit of cinnamon on that, bruh. Sprinkle that cinny on that on them vittles, baby. Come on. Finish that hitter off. Maybe polish it all off with a little menthol ciggy. You can find me with the Lord, brother. That's that Lord's meal. But yeah, sushi, it's basically, look, I'd pay them $2 extra, cook the shit. And they're not, here's the deal for me. They're not even, I've never heard of any of the fish. They gave a box, the sushi box, about $50. $50 for the box. You'd think it's a board game and you open it up and it's damn fish, It's like, well, where the hell's Balderdash? Why, It just very confusing. And the fish, you never heard of them. Tamarindo, what is that? Where is that? I've never heard of that. You know why? Because nobody has. And then they got salmon in there. They got the maki. Dude, I want the hard polish. I want where's the good shit, baby? Where the bass? At least throw a couple cuts of fucking fresh bass in this bastard. At least carve me a little carp. You feel me? Carp, daddy. It's like put something in here that I can deal with, or just cook it. Because sushi, man, it's just, I don't hate it, but I don't get it. And I don't know a lot of people that do. It's good, but what is it, though? And why aren't they cooking it? Look into it, that's all I'm saying. Oh, I don't even know what I'm talking about today, dude. What am I talking about? I don't know. I got my hopes up. And we'll see. I don't. Who knows? Life is so wild. Dude, how about Tanya Milosevic that we had in? Unbelievable, wasn't it? And if you haven't listened to that episode, she's a young blind lady that came in and just, man, I've been having trouble. I was thinking about not doing interviews anymore because I did the Jordan Belfort one. And I didn't like him, honestly. I didn't like him. And I hate to say that, but I didn't. I didn't like him. And I didn't do a good job of trying to figure out what was going on with him. Or figure out like what made him, seem greedy or behave a certain way or just, I don't know. I feel like I probably could have tried to do a better job of connecting with him. And so, I don't know. We're going to try and just look at a different way that we can do interviews and who we interview to make it more of an experience that I can be comfortable in and enjoy and want to engage in. I wish I would have asked him, or talked about greed and what I think about greed and where I find greed in my life and how I could have related it to him. Or, I don't know. I just felt like, and I'm not being hard on myself. I just want to do it well. I don't want like wasting people's time. If you think about time, then you can't even think about it forever because you'll run out of it. So it's that tricky ticky. It's that tricky ticky. But I thought talking with her was so cool, man. It really just, it just made me It made me want to learn more. It made me want to believe that I can learn more, and that I can, just, it made me believe that I don't know, it just made me think, oh, wow, there is a way that I can do this and enjoy it. There's more out there. There's a Walmart that goes on forever, man. I'm talking about never-ending Walmart here. And I know that's what Nick's going to call the episode as well. Nick picks out the episode titles. If you don't know that, just filling in on that. Oh, I do have some really cool news. So we're going to do Single Moms Night Out in San Francisco. If you know a single mother who you'd like to nominate, you can hit the hotline, 985-664-9503. Don't, just be careful about it. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. But yeah, we would love to treat a single mother out to the show one night, and then do something nice for them and their kiddo or kiddos. But we are, it looks like anyway, we're going to be able to start an actual nonprofit, or that's the goal. So, going to be having someone work full-time, not full-time, part-time. So sometimes on building that, helping out single mothers, or helping out single mothers who are, financially unstable, financially troubled. And that all of our single moms haven't been. Some of these ladies, it's all to different types. But in order for it to be an actual nonprofit, it has to be charitable. That's one thing I learned. So we have to make sure that we will help out people that are really struggling. And so anyway, we're gonna be able to we're gonna work on that. We're having somebody look into that and really kind of move that forward and apply for a nonprofitership. So pretty cool. I have visions of having places like where moms can live and just take a little bit of stress off of their lives, so that they can, just create more of like an emotional world for them and their kiddos, man. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't that be cool? So thank you so much to everybody that supports this podcast, because it's slow. Things take a long time. It's like the government kind of. Things just take a while. But we are doing it. We can do this. And I'm just starting to try and believe that in my life, that if we want to change the world or do something different, that we really can. That sounds crazy to say that sometimes, but I was laying in bed a couple of weeks ago, and I just had that thought. I was like, man, we could change the world, Because I'd rather believe that than that we couldn't, than that we stuck out here. That it's all just super glue, and that I'm not super, then I'm stuck. So I think we could do. It's crazy. Maybe I sound like a crazy person, but you know what? You have to. You got to, somebody's crazy before they're crafty. Somebody runs up on you in the park and is like, hey, bro, I'll blow you right now. And you're like, no way, buddy. And then next thing you know, so first they sound crazy, but then it could be crafty, do what you got to do. Today's episode, I don't even know what I'm talking about today. Man, dude, my neck starts hurting like 25 minutes into these episodes. I got to get a new neck. Thank you to everybody that came out in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago. I want to thank you so much that came out at the Improv. It was fun, man. The first show, it was so much fun. It was just a real hoot. And that was a joy, and I just want to thank you. And everybody that came out to King and the Sting last week with me and Brennan Schaub, we did a live show. And it wasn't live, it was just stand-up comedy. But we're going to be working on a live show. And I'll see you in San Francisco this weekend. So you can know that. At Cobb's Comedy Club, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Support for this past weekend comes from Manscaped. And Manscaped is a company. And they're number one in men's below-the-belt grooming. So if you look down by your junk and you ain't seeing joy, you should change it. Because your junk should be really just, you want that hitter down there. You want that hair, you want that kind of hairless hitter. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. I didn't write that, but I read it. Now I've groomed myself before, and I've nipped I hate to say this, man, because it's, but I've nipped, I've nipped my little game hen before with a scissor. And I have, man, not a big nip, but just enough. And man, that thing, it's got a lot of blood in it, I'll say that, and that's kind of edgy, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking like that, but Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 2.0. Inside the Perfect Package, you'll find the electric trimmer called the Lawnmower 2.0. Its waterproof, skin-safe technology keep you from nicking that sack. And the only person that is allowed to nick and sack at the same time is Kris Kringle, baby. Jolly old Santa Claus, Saint Nick, with that sack of gifts. You can create less mess by trimming in the shower with that electric trimmer, the Lawnmower, the waterproof one. You can get those hard to reach places. They got a little tool called the plow, and you could share crop your own your own body. I mean, you got 40 acres and you got that mule, baby, that little, you got that instrument that they give you. Let's not forget about that Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant. Wow, they go in deep. And moisturizer. Whew. Now, back off the moisturizer a little, man, and you'll end up doing other things to yourself, end up touching yourself to full pleasure and blasting. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? That's what they're wondering. It's time to get clean with the Perfect Package 2.0. Get 20% off, free shipping with the code Theo at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Theo, Theo, at manscaped.com. 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code, Theo. So, that's our only ad today. Isn't that cool, man? Isn't that cool when it's nice when there's not a lot of ads? Let's get into some calls. Some great calls came in. I've been struggling recently to kind of like feel a lot of my own feelings, and I just want to share that some. I like to come on here sometimes and talk about what I'm feeling and stuff, but honestly, things have been so busy recently, it's been hard to have a lot of feelings. Because you need more space for those. And I'm going to try to get some more of that going in my life. Just go to more meetings, more 12-step, and go to, and what else? Go to, and maybe do some meditation. So I'm going to be looking into that, man. Get my chakras, give them a little bit of rest. We got some calls that came in. As always, the hotline is 985-664-9503. And I do want to say thank you. I don't know if I say it enough. I want to say thank you so much for just being a part of this, and for paying attention sometimes, and for coming out on the road. I really, I get to live my dreams right now, and it's crazy. I get to live my dreams. And sometimes I'm still agitated, but that's just me. That's just who I am. I'm not going to change sometimes. And it's different. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's hard. Like, I don't sometimes feel like I know I've done enough work and stuff in my life and in stand-up comedy to be able to have the ability to entertain people when they come out to the show. I know that I've done enough of my homework so that I can apply it now on a regular basis. But still, I feel, I think there's always a part of us that feels not deserving. And some people say, well, no, man, you deserve it. And I appreciate that. But I want there to always be a part of me that feels a little less deserving. Because I need that part of me. I need that part of me to keep me I think I need that part of me anyway to just kind of, I don't know. It's just like a thermostat. It's like I know the setting. And sometimes the setting doesn't leave me feeling great, but it's still the setting that I know the best. And it's a setting that I can operate at. But I just am so grateful, man. Thank you guys so much for, I just can't even tell you. It's like, I always believed in myself, I think. But you never really, you just don't know. You don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not saying like I'm not walking on the moon, or I'm not no Danny DeVito or anything like that, or, Ronald Palmer or anything, but I'm having like an opportunity to live out some of my dreams, man. And I'll tell you this, man, it's awesome. It's really, really cool. It's really cool when somebody comes up that's just like me from where I'm from, or that's different than me. Says, hey man, you make me laugh, or my wife and I had fun, or, I can relate to you. And, like, it's wild. I don't feel like I deserve that, and nobody kind of does, but I'm happy. I do want to do my best to be able to be a part of, like, I don't know, man. I want to feel like I do feel like, I don't know. I'm just thankful, man. I'm just grateful. And so thank you very much. And I'm excited about being able to just be a part of whatever's going on in the world, and hopefully bring some joy out there. Let's get to a couple calls, man. Here we go.
Hey, what up, Theo? This is Drew from just south of Portland, Oregon. I just finished the podcast with Tanya, your amazing blind lady that you found, and I just thought that you should definitely tell her that she needs to start a podcast, because she just fielded every question that you had without a hiccup. She took it all right on the chin, and I just really appreciated her ability to not flinch and just, roll with the punches and answer the questions. And I think it'd be a really interesting perspective hearing her. Gang, much love.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, man, it was incredible. She made me feel like I wasn't doing anything with even all the capabilities that the gifts that I have inside of me. She made me really feel like that. And yeah, man, she just really is isn't it interesting that I feel like she's such a gift to the world, and she can't even see the world. Isn't that wild, man? And I hope her next life, if she wants to, she gets to see it all, man. And then imagine when she realizes what a gift she was and how she handled herself like. She's basically the Princess Charles of the blind, I feel like. Or of any impairment. Man, it's so inspiring. And you know what? I'm going to send this voicemail to her so she gets it, man. You're right. You're really, really right. And I hope I'm there after in whatever's after this, man. I hope we're at the we get to go to the endless wall. There's a behind the wall, behind the Walmart or whatever, that never-ending Walmart. And hope there's an aisle where it's just you see like people that have an impairment, and they get given the gift. Man, can you imagine that? Jesus. Sorry. Could you imagine an aisle like you close your eyes for the last time, and then your spirit just takes off in like a never-ending Walmart, and every aisle has something special in it, and in one aisle there's like you see a blind person who gets the gift of sight, man, and they can see. And then, God shows them, or some higher power shows them, or the spirit, the entity, that puffed the magic dragon, whoever it is, dude, She-Ra, whoever it is, man, Chief Gillespie, whoever it is, shows them what a good job they did, or at least sits down, or even for, They got another row, and it's people that was murderers or people that was not flushing the toilet, and people, people that's being dirty. And they got, God sitting there or whoever, Coyote John or whatever that guy's name is. Not Punxsutawney Phil. Who is it? Yogi Bear. Whoever's running the Walmart to sit there. They've got the hand on their shoulder, and they show them why, X's and O's on a piece of paper, why they shouldn't do murdering. And the guy's like, oh, I see now. I just hope I hope the aisles keep going, because I believe they can. And I think if enough of us believe that something else could be, there's something bigger out there than us. And maybe everybody else has been, and I'm the one who's missing some of the boat sometimes by trying to think too much to myself and want to control it all myself. And some people don't like thinking about religion or talking about religion. And I don't know if I'm really talking about that. But I also don't want to be afraid of I don't want to be afraid to think or talk about stuff on here. I don't have to be right. I'm not here to be right to you. Hell, I'm not even here to be right to me, So I don't even know what I'm talking about. Jesus, dude. Why do we keep doing this every week? Let's take another call, man, right here. Gang. Thanks for the call, too, and thank you for that sweet message to Tanya. Yeah, what a gift that we got, huh? Well, she was so eloquent. And how she made me think, like, if blind people seem like they're not interested, we're sorry. We sometimes just don't. Man, she could see her part in everything that was going on in the world. And man, it was incredible. It was really, really incredible. Dude, I listened back to it yesterday, and it was the first time I ever done that. It was really, really incredible. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. This is Bill from Dubuque, Iowa.
Big Billy boy out there in Dubuque. And Dubuque has, it's beautiful over there, man. If you like Iowa and you like Dubuque, then you're right. Then you're going to love it.
That Midwest hitter.
Gang, bro. That fucking mappadactyl, son, right there in the middle of the map. And a lot of people want to, say this and that about the Midwest, about certain areas. How about that Louisiana Purchase, Papa, that LP? We bought a third of America for what? $80, bro? Greatest deal ever, son. Shing, shing, boy. Shing, shing, boy, that Ricky Davis, daddy. Gang, onward.
Just getting off work. I work for FedEx, delivering those residential packages. You feel me?
Oh, I feel you. You freaking Resi Arnaz, baby. Honey, your gift is home. Yeah, you hitting them residentials. Dude, I'd be fucking peeing in people's side yards, daddy. I'd be laid off the first day. I'd be laid off, man. And y'all should borrow Big Samuel's van, dude. You got to keep unlimited gas in it. Dude, we used to have to tape these big tanks on the side of it of just gas, so it would just be unlimited gas. Because you couldn't turn it off, man. And you couldn't turn it on. Once the gas went in, it went on. Let's hear more, man. Thank you for your service, baby.
I listen to your podcast on the way to work. Shit, I listen to it the whole time while delivering, man.
That's what I'm saying, boy.
From you and Brendan Schwab. I appreciate you guys, all right? Keep on keeping on. Gang, gang. Buzz, buzz, brother.
Gang, gang, man. Buzz, buzz. Yeah, Brendan's a nice guy, man. He's got a big heart. And, I just, this weekend, man, I was just feeling so lucky to be in some of that circle. I wasn't feeling good about something, and I needed some suggestions, some advice. And I called Brian Callen, and he's just so helpful. And for him to just be so helpful to me, and like, I know we work in the same business, but I'm just so, and maybe we all are fortunate to have somebody, and if you don't have somebody, man, I'm sorry, man, but I think you just be patient. Somebody will, there's somebody out there looking for you to be your friend. I believe that, and sometimes we don't even notice the people that we have. Sometimes we just really need to notice. And sometimes I don't even want to notice the people that care about me, because I don't want to I'd rather just say and stay. It's easier for me to sit there and say nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's just easier to do that sometimes, man. It's harder. It's harder sometimes to just stand up and say, yeah, here are the people that do care about me, and if I go, and I'm going to thank them, I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just, I don't know, man. I've been having like a lot of weird feelings. I've been adjusting my medication a little bit, but, not in a bad way. I'm safe and all, but I would like to one day get off of these antidepressants. So I'm not doing it, but I cut the amount I take down some, because I would like to one day not take them. I'm reading this really interesting book that really talks about that, and I'm hoping to have the author in one day. Let's take another call. Who's listening?
Hey, Theo, this is Eric over here in Utah, but studying for the Texas bar exam. Just finished law school this past
Oh, yeah, you finished law school, huh? Them torts, bro. You've been eating them lemon torts, baby. I feel you. Congratulations, man, studying for that bar. Study for that Roseanne bar, bro. Grab your crotch and sing the national anthem, dude. Gang.
past semester, and I'm actually watching your episode 214 now. You were saying something about, wanting to know who listens, and I got to tell you, man, I've been in, like I said, in law school for the past 3 years with these crazy-ass rich kids. I'm a factory worker's kid. My parents are fresh off the boat.
Gang, bruh. You like Rudy Rudiger, dude. That's what you are. People can be yelling, Rudy, Rudy. And you can be like, quiet down. We got a cross-examination going on. You're going to be the only one in the courtroom wearing a jersey, dude, and a cast on your arm and getting everybody fired up. The judge is going to be like, approach the bench, please. You can't wear a gold helmet in here, sir. Gang, man, I bet your parents are so proud of you, man. You know what's amazing, man, that's unique is that the struggle or whatever that is, that's the magic. Dude, if you don't have it's so funny. I was talking to Dustin Poirier the other day, and he made me think, dude, it's so funny. Dustin Poirier is obviously everybody knows I'm a huge fan, and he's a UFC fighter, and we're both from Louisiana. But he for a guy sometimes he's so for a fighter he's oddly so insightful, and I guess maybe I shouldn't say that because that kind of like puts down fighters. But here's the thing. People think there's a general thought out there that athletes sometimes aren't that insightful. Well, that's not true. And I'm probably the one who fucking thinks it. So really it's just me that have that thought. But he was saying that if you're an underdog, man, the beauty of being someone who has to go through struggle, because you get that. If there's no struggle, that's the thing. If there's no struggle, then it's nothing. There's no journey. There's no journey. You get to make that magic, man. You get to be the story. Like once you get to a place of of insane comfort, unless your kids, then they have to make a different story. Like if you say you come from, from lower means and you get to higher means in your life. Then your kids, maybe they give away all the wealth that you accumulated. I don't know. It's like, and not that it gets taken from them by a government or anything. I'm saying they get to give, like, it's like, what is our journey? What is the thing? Because that's I don't know, man. It's like all the things in my life that I thought like made me like not have any value, or made me like feel like nothing, or like all my struggle that's my path, man. That's like now I can show people this is my, I was Lewis and Clark, man. I wasn't freaking, Bear Bryant or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you have a distance to go, then you get to have a journey. Imagine being born into an environment you never even get to have a journey. And we all have one. We have to figure out what it is, and I do believe that as well. We all have one. We all have a way that we can not only inspire ourselves, others, that we could change the world, man. We could, I don't know. I'm feeling hopeful, but also fucking, I think the hat I'm wearing is kind of getting tight on my head, but congratulations, man, Moore.
You know, I don't vibe with any of them. And then to, you know, listen to your show, man, hear some real down-to-earth shit, really just brings me back. And it's really been super helpful for me, man. So, you know, just keep it going, brother.
Gang, gang, dude. And when I go to jail for something, you can come and support me, bro. I like your attitude. Rudy. That's cool, man. That slow clap with Charles S. Dutton. Remember him standing on the sideline of Rudy? Dude, if you don't watch Rudy at Christmas, dude, or after sex, then who are you? That's what I want to know. If you don't watch Rudy Rudiger to help you get an erection, I mean, no. The movie Rudy, if that, nothing helps you get an erection more than watching that. And that's a freebie right there. Let's take another call here, man.
Hey, Theo. This is Will from Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts.
Big Will from Martha's Vineyard, huh? Dang. And I heard Martha's Vineyard's been shaved. You feel me? That's old, one of them old cooter jokes. Onward.
Today I'm feeling a little down on myself. I'm 22 and I feel pretty lost in life, man. I got my 19-year-old girlfriend pregnant, and we met on July 4th, 2018. The baby's due August 17th, 2019, so about a month from now. Feeling pretty down because sometimes I feel like she might be better off without me. She had so much potential, you know, like she was going to a really good school, was going to get into pre-med, all that. All kind of got thrown away because I got her pregnant. But
Well, I'm just going to interrupt you real quick, man. First of all, thanks for calling, man. You know, I cannot even fathom that. It's so wild when you're young. You go from like, man, I got to get laid. And then once you get laid and get somebody pregnant, you're like, fuck, that's crazy. That wasn't part of the goal. And look, you some of these things I'm already saying, you can't put all these weights on yourself, man. Maybe she could be better off without you. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe it's not the best fit. That could be true. Maybe you could be better off, you know, without her. It's like that. Some of that could be true, man. But I don't want you, you know, I can't relate to this story exactly because I haven't had this experience. But I don't want you to be, you know, it sounds like you already have like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And you don't know if she was going to go to pre-med. She still may go to pre-med. She may be one of the best baby doctors in the world in 10 years. You know, this may be a gift that you're not able to see yet. How this toy is going to, you know, not this toy, but this, you know, this baby is going to play out in your life. You don't know it. Let's hear more.
But she's the most amazing girl I've ever met. She's always smiling and happy. But sometimes I feel like I can't be the man that she needs. I don't make enough money to support her and the newborn, and I struggle a lot. Man, I struggle a lot with my fears of becoming just like my dad who wasn't around. That feeling of self-doubt, you know. Basically what I'm trying to say, Theo, now I understand my own father's choice to not be there. I just want to break the cycle, man. Not for me, but for my girl and my daughter.
Well, it's sweet of you to call in, man. And it's also sweet of you to write this down before you called. You know, because sometimes you have to. And I, you know, like, I prefer people to call and just share, but I know it's hard sometimes. I just don't like it to not be like real, you know. Sometimes I worry that people are just making fake calls and stuff, but I don't worry about that too much. I could have, being a young dad, man, I can't even imagine. It's so scary. You know, it's so scary. But the one thing that's neat is, this may be an opportunity for you to reach out to your own father and say, hey, look, this is what's going on in my life. And what are some things that you would have done different? You know, because, I mean, if like you're saying like your own father left, or, you know, separated himself from you, or in your mom, if that's the case, then man, wow, you could really, I bet you could really make a bridge there. What an opportunity he would have to find some fulfillment. And maybe he can't help you be a father, but he could at least say, look, these are the things that I did that I wish I hadn't done. I mean, what inspiration you could get from that, maybe. I mean, it'd be very brave of you to call him and do that. And I don't know what y'all's relationship is like, so I'm not saying that. That could be really brave. And look, I just don't want you to stack all those eggs on the back of your neck right now. You know, the woman and the baby and the possible relationships and her future and all of that isn't what you have to. You don't have to. All that's not happening right now. The whole world isn't happening right now. What's happening right now is you can have a child August 17th, or whatever date you said, and you need to be a loving day. You are gonna have to be active. Probably you're gonna have to get active. I believe that life is for the active, and that if you stay active, man, you'll get wherever you want to go. Because the only way to get from here to there, activity or magic. And we don't know if magic's part-time. People don't know if it's, it doesn't work most of the time. So you got to get active, Papa. And you can do it, dude. You can do it. And I think this is a great spot. We can put out some calls to other listeners and who want to call and offer suggestions who have that experience. But look, man, I know that there's a lot of love in the world. And if you just choose to be loving, dude, if you really just choose to be loving, that you'll find the power to do it. And when there are moments where you think you can't do it, you can't go to work, you don't want to apply for a job, you don't want to ask for help, you don't want to do it, to then do whatever that action is that you don't want to do, man, it's so powerful. That's so powerful, that contrary action, bro. There's so much power in that, man. And then walls will open up you can't even see. Walls inside of yourself, possibilities will open up you can't even see. Because nothing's gonna change if you don't change. Things aren't gonna be different. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But for you to start saying, hey, I believe that I could do this. I believe that. But you have the chance to change a child's life. You have a chance to help shape that child's world. You have a chance to. If you accept that challenge, man, you could be that hitter, daddy. When those moments, I think I should just be out of her life. Nuh-uh. You can be out of her life sexually, you could be out of her life as a lover and that sort of thing, but you can't be out of that child's life, dude. Or I don't think you should be. I mean, in the beginning, you probably could if you wanted to, because the kid ain't going to know anything till it's probably 2 or something, but you don't want to miss all of that, bro. You don't want to miss smelling that little baby's fat arm, bro. Sucking on that fucking... You ever suck on a fucking baby's bicep, dude? A 2-month-old chubby-ass bicep, bro? Come on. If that ain't the Lord's gristle, bro. If that ain't the Lord's gristle. And a little baby, they smell like they fresh out of the dang oven. They good after you wash them off. I'm talking about, after they put a little bit of that oven powder on them. Not really, But I believe you could do it, man. I believe if you change that thought, if you change and you say, I can do it. You say, I'm going to do it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard because you might not even believe it. But if you don't change your perception, nothing ever changes around us. I want my life to change, but I keep doing the same thing. I go home at night and I jerk off and do a couple parliaments on the patio. Then and I expect in the morning not to wake up and be tired and smell like parliaments on my hand. Impossible. I got to change things. And when I do, man, it gets bigger, man. Things get bigger. That Walmart gets a little more endless, bruh. Few extra aisles, dude. Now you could buy a washer dryer. They got Frigidairs over there. They got them chicken nugget sacks over there, them 70-piece, dog. They got it all. They got lawn chairs. They got bougainvilleas. They got, machetes. It's just, you could change it, man. We can change it, bruh. If you have some suggestions for that young man, though, he got a girl pregnant. He loves her, but you heard it. He doesn't know. But I believe you could do it, man. I believe we all can. I really, really believe we all can. And we just need each other because, we can't do it alone. Neither can that baby. So I got you, bro. Gang, man. You can hit the hotline, 985-664-9503. And man, we're lucky. We're lucky to be here, and we're lucky that we have each other. And sorry if I'm sounding preachy or anything, man. I'm not trying to. I just, sometimes I don't know what's going on in my life, and I have to, and I have to just try my best. I come in here. I don't have a plan. I got the calls right here. This sheet says calls. We had two questions from Patreoners, Jacob Wells and Cigar J, that I didn't get to, and I'll do them next week. And so I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but we making it, bro. We'll go right into Bishop Gunn here, making it.
I ain't seen home in about 100 days. I can almost hear Mama pray for my restless soul. And I ain't made $1 I ain't spent, but where it's going ain't killed me yet. I still get where I'm bound to go. I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right. I'm making it. And if hell's where I'm headed, then I'm making good time.
Congratulations to Bishop Gunn, guys. Listen to this. They will be opening up for the Rolling Stones in Houston, Saturday, July 27th at Energy Stadium. Isn't that amazing, man? Did we know that when we don't know what's going to happen. You think they knew that when nobody knew that?
I should have put it down, but I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right. I'm making it, and if hell's where I'm headed, there I'm making good time.
I want to thank Nick and Gianni for making my life easier and always being a part of this show.
Between the lives that I've crossed and the friends that I've lost, I'm left here alone in my stead. But I'm in pretty good shape for the shape that I'm in. I'm making it. I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right. Yeah, I'm making it. I'm making it. I'm making good time.
Fuck Denny's, bro.
I'm making it. I'm making it. can almost hear mama pray for my restless soul.
Endless Walmart, baby. We can change the world, man. Be good to yourselves, man. You deserve it. And I'm going to try to do the same to myself, and thank you for always reminding me.